Well, hello and welcome to this episode of the Poetry of Healing Show. I am Dr. Paulina Van, and I am so glad you're here. And today we're going to explore letting go, and my guests will share their own personal experiences of how they let go. What are we letting go of? Memories, situations, people, inaccurate perceptions of ourselves. We're going to also talk about the benefits of letting go and some strategies that will help us to let go. So stay with us and let's see. As we always do before we begin the program, I'm going to invite you to join me in a centering exercise that will take about 1 minute. And this centering exercise is to help us to start letting go. And so we're going to use our breath. As we know, our breath is a way of calming and soothing ourselves, and it's always available to us. So I want to ask you to lower your gaze or close your eyes or have a soft gaze on a fixed object. Okay? And I'm going to guide you through breathing in and out. And we're going to breathe in things that we want or that we desire. And we're going to breathe out things that don't tend to serve us well. Okay? And there are 8 things we're going to breathe in and breathe out. So here we go. With your eyes closed or your gaze lowered, just take a nice deep breath, slow deep breath in through your nose and then out through your mouth. Great. One more. In through your nose. Deep, 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 deeper than you've ever taken today. And then out through your mouth. And now when you breathe in, I'd like you to breathe in love and deposit it into that beautiful heart of yours. Breathe it in. And now when you exhale any hatred. Okay. Great. Next breath, deep breath, you're going to breathe in joy. Deposit it into your heart. And exhale sadness. Slowly exhale into the universe. Next, you're going to inhale peace, that warm feeling of peace, and drop it into your heart. And then exhale anxiety. Next, you're going to inhale confidence. And then exhale doubt. We're halfway through. We're going to inhale gratitude. Drop it into your heart. And exhale discontent. Next, we're going to inhale hope. And drop it into your heart. And exhale despair. Next, we're going to inhale forgiveness. Wrap it around and drop it into your heart. And exhale any resentment. And lastly, we're going to inhale courage, the warmth of courage, and exhale fear. And so if you've just joined us, this is the Poetry of Healing Show, and I'm Dr. Paulina Van, and today's show is all about letting go. And we've just completed a breathing exercise to help us to start letting go. But I have my guests here. We're all connected in a special way, and I'm going to start bringing them in so that you can greet them one by one. I have wonderful guests here. Let's see. Okay, bear with me. I'm going to bring them in one by one. Hi, Mona, Jeanette,
Hi.
Jan, and Charlene. So look at this beautiful group of wonderful folks who are going to guide us through their experiences of letting go. So welcome to the show today, Mona, Jeanette, Charlene, and Jan. How are you doing?
Good.
Great.
Having
Good to
us.
be here.
Yeah, I'm so happy. Okay, so let's just dive right in. And what we're going to do is what I, of course, immerse myself in your beautiful work. And I think we should tell the viewers a little bit about you so that they can know where this beautiful work has come from. So, if you'd like, take a minute or so to introduce yourself, anything personal or professional, and just a little bit about how you started writing this aesthetic, beautiful work. And I'm going to throw one more thing in there, and that's something that is special about you. We all have something special or a special gift. And so if you can include that. And if you've forgotten all the things I've asked you to introduce yourself, just introduce yourself. So Mona, I'm going to go with you first.
Well, I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me, Dr. Van. It's such a privilege to be here with you and the amazing souls that are on this call today. So, well, my name is Mona El-Shazly Gerard at work. Everyone calls me Mona El-Shazly. I'm a nurse specialist for professional practice, Magnet Accreditation Department at the University of Miami Hospital and Clinics. Now we call it the health system. We changed our name. And I am a Caritas coach. I am also a Caritas Council Chair. And how I came to write this beautiful poetry is I'm also a Watson Caring Science Institute faculty, CCEP faculty. And one of the teachings is the ontological heart-centered class, the Seven Sacred Sutras. And so one of them was on surrendering. And as I wouldn't say struggle, as I was looking for examples to come about for the Caritas coaches, students, this poetry came through. And I spoke to Dr. Van previously about this, that's what channeled through. It was the poetry to teach as a teaching tool for the students. And so that's how that came about. But I'm a writer. I love to write poetry, children's stories. I just love to write. So I actually have my bachelor's in communications journalism. So that is one of my things, one of my gifts or skills, as you would say. And so I shared this poem with Dr. Van and also Charlene on surrendering. And one special gift about myself, I'm highly spiritual. I things that maybe others may not know is I do have I hear things, I see things, and maybe just a little bit out of the norm. So that's a little something about me as far as that goes.
Well, thank you, Mona. And I'm going to add a few things because, I'm a researcher. Lay people may call it an investigator. And I learned that you have written 5 books.
Yes, actually more than that, but yeah,
Yeah.
I write children's books. I actually write them with my husband, and I got him into it. He's also a writer. We share a lot of things in common. We're both
Mhm.
artists. So, but yeah, I love teaching children on how to become resilient against the world's challenges. We live in a world that's very different than generations past, and just as we are Caritas coaches and we learn ourselves and equip ourselves with tools to become stronger and more resilient and heal ourselves as well as heal others.
Mhm.
Uh, uh, Writing children's books from that capacity has always been a passion of mine to help children cope with maybe a loss of a parent or maybe having a disability, um, or maybe not feeling loved, you know. And so that are those are the topics that I've written on, and I haven't
I
written since 2001, but
Mhm.
I want to continue.
Mhm.
It's just
Well, they're visible on Amazon. And also, Mona, this was a very surprising to me. Well, not surprising, but you never shared this with me. You were a pageant uh,
yes,
contestant and won an award. But we won't go into that right now. But I just want the viewers to know that we have a celebrity among us. Okay, so Jeanette. See what happens when you come on the show. Your secrets.
Your secrets get revealed. Thank you
Yes.
so much, Dr. Van, for this invitation. What an honor to be with you, as well as all of our character sisters on this call with Mona, Charlene, and of course, Jan. So I'm Jeanette Moreno. Currently, I'm a senior nursing consultant working at Stanford Healthcare. I've had a couple of great, amazing nursing professional career since I migrated to the United States from the Philippines in 2002. I'm a CVICU nurse by background for my clinical expertise. A nurse educator by heart, a manager with lots of gusto, and I've been a director for professional development, clinical excellence. So I'm proud to say that I call myself the CEO, the Chief Enthusiastic Officer of my personal and professional life. And I have a lot of enthusiasm, passion, and love and commitment for advancing the nursing profession.
Mhm.
Um, as a person, I'm very dedicated to my family. I have a loving husband who's an emergency room nurse, and I have a 16-year old daughter who will rule the world someday. I'm sure of that. And I came from a family of 10. I'm number eight. Of five girls and five boys. My dad is a Filipino Chinese businessman. So, with lots of kids, lots of free labor, in our business world. So, those are a couple of things I'd like to share. And most recently, um, had took the courage to publish along with Dr. Jen Anderson, who gave me a lot of mentorship and courage to get my healing haiku poetry published and shared, to everybody, to the community. And I feel so blessed. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, it is called A Human Caring Through Healing Haiku.
Yes. Well, you are definitely a light in this big world. So thank you, Jeanette.
Thank you.
Charlene.
Yes, my name is Charlene Johnson, of course, and I am a nurse leader. I've been in my role as a manager in maternal child health for 23 years. And this is day number 23 before I will early retire. So, super excited about what's to come there. But I'm also a Caritas coach, which I am with all my sisters here. I'm a podcast host as well. And I'm also a heart bath training, a healing facilitator, all things taking care of the caregiver. That's who I am. And I would say something that probably a lot of people don't know about me is that I am a pastor and a minister as well.
Yes. Yes. And Charlene, people who know you or meet you may not know that, but you definitely exude that wonderful gift
You. Thank you.
and your one of your purposes in life. So thank you.
Thank you. So
So
glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
You're very, very welcome. So, viewers, if you've just dropped in to this episode, we're talking about letting go. And so far, um, our guests have been introducing themselves, and we're all connected because we're all nurses. And you've heard a couple of our guests mention Caritas Coach. And the next guest that's going to introduce herself is Jan. And Jan was our mentor and coach of all of us through that process of learning how to love and care. And this is a way of being. It's a theory too, but it's a way of being that was developed by Dr. Jean Watson and the Watson Caring Science Institute, which we're all so passionate about and can continue to contribute to. So, Jan, if you're our connector, you're our connector of love and caring, and it's because of you that we've taken such a wonderful journey. So, can you tell the viewers a little bit about yourself?
Yes, thanks, Pauline. It's wonderful to be with all of you. I really miss seeing you. It's been my greatest joy to be able to walk along with you on this journey of becoming more kind and caring, and that's what the 3 does for us. Starting with ourselves, and so surrender is a big part of that, actually, because if you ask most people, surrendering is probably the hardest thing to do, actually. But I worked at a hospital for a long time, orthopedics and med surg, and then taught for many years, and then worked with Jean in this Caritas Coach education program. And it's been just the best part of my life at this point, because I get to meet and work with people like you and watch you blossom and grow and evolve. And you're just such amazing, beautiful spirits. So it's my joy to be here with you all.
Well, Jan, you're looking at 4 lives that you have tremendously helped us transform to be more loving, more caring, and more present. And we will always be grateful to you. So now we're going to transition to each guest sharing, and it's going to be shared in a poetic way. Of course, this is the Poetry of Healing show, so of course it's going to be in a poetic way, but a poetic and really sincere way of how to let go. So I'm going to start with Mona. If you can share the piece that you created, briefly tell us a backstory, and then we're ready to hear your words.
So the backstory is I was preparing to teach on surrendering for the Caritas Coach students, and this poetry came through. So it came through in actually one piece. It was just very little, maybe tweaking, and I actually shared it when I did teach my segment with Cheryl Handy. And so it is on surrendering, and I would love to read it to you at this time. So, surrendering, what an odd concept this is. It is the untethering of my grip in the midst of suffering. It is the turning over of what I can no longer handle or control. It is the relinquishing of my resistance to what I should hold. This what is that can be so painful to take in, so hard to fathom from within. This sorrowful feeling of holding on to what should be is the very thing that I need to be released from within me. You and I can be free from this suffering and pain if we can only try to surrender our will again and again. I know that this is a journey for me to be free from the unnecessary suffering of how I want things to be. I am learning, though it is not easy. It has taken my whole life to get to this moment, and it is a precious moment indeed. Because with this practice, I get to help others, teaching to relinquish what is not for our service. It is a journey, all right, and it is not for the faint of heart. It takes bravery to face the unfaceable and to say, I'm here. Where do I start? And also say, I accept you on what it is that you need to teach me. Surrendering is one of the practices we are encouraged to learn freely, to turn over what needs to be turned over. This helps with eventually attaining closure, a necessary balm for the heart and soul and the whole world over.
Thank you, Mona.
Beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful.
And thank you for that. I try to encompass all the principles within the poem as one clump of teaching.
Mhm.
Dr. Jan definitely knows what that's like. But of course, I explained it step by step, but it was just one of the segments that I used to
Mhm.
help to bring a different view
Mhm.
to the teaching of surrendering, which is definitely, like Dr. Anderson said, for me, it's definitely the hardest, along with forgiveness. Forgiveness of self, forgiveness of circumstances and others, but surrendering definitely is right up there for me. We are nurses, and we like to control our situations. Our outcomes are very important, and so that word surrendering is very foreign, and it's not in our vocabulary really.
Mhm.
But it is necessary when we do care for others and we care for ourselves as well, and our mental health. It is very important, and so a very important teaching and very difficult one, and I think it's one that our whole lives we will take on this teaching and try to really grasp it and hone it in and embody it, try to bring it to life. So
Mhm. You brought up, thank you, Mona. You really illustrated in your poem some of the major concepts, factors of surrendering, and you talked about control and embracing reality. And so there are so many elements. And so thank you so much for beautifully and warmly and gently uh, teaching us about control. So I'm going to go to Jeanette now for your reading. Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Van and Mona. That was a beautiful, beautiful poetry that you shared. The poem that I would like to share is entitled Let Go and Have No Fear. He lay in bed so helpless and in pain. Blood poison has engulfed his frail domain. No food, no water, body so ill, so weak. Carry him now to the nearest hospital and be quick. He needs fluids to flow through his veins. Treat his body physical, rid of illness in vain. Follow protocols of evidence based medicine, the best of empirical science will gain. He lay in bed so helpless and in pain. I love him so much, but think hard and deep. His body will stay. Think deep and pray. No more suffering, no more pain. Let his body rest, and we pray. He lay in bed so helpless and in pain. We love him so much, but think hard and deep. I whispered to him, let's go, be free and have no fear. He gazed into my eyes and shed a tear, shaking hands so weak, arms wrapped and meek. Let's go home, my child. let's go with no fear.
And your words, Jeanette, are so soft. They are so, I'll use the term welcoming. So anyone going through this same, and we all go through it, go through this situation, can embrace your words because they're real, but they're soft and they're welcoming, they're calling us to surrender. So thank you so much for sharing this really sacred, very sacred story. And now I'm going to move to Jan. And Jeanette, you said some things about Jan sending your homework back to your class. And what Jan did with me was, because I'm a researcher, an administrator, I live in my head. Even though my heart's sweet, I live in my head. And Jan would say, Paulina, get out of your head. that was a comment on just about every assignment until my own, until I let go.
Yeah.
Until I let go of my childhood trauma, and then poetry started flowing. It's so interesting, Jeanette, that you talk about your, how can I say, not fear around writing poetry, but just unfamiliarity with thinking you can pass the course. And that's the same feeling I had when I went to graduation. So I'm cohort 22. Our orientation was after cohort 21's graduation, and every single graduating coach read a poem. And I said, oh, this, I'm not going to be able to do this. I think I better know. I know now that I am not going to be successful because I didn't read poetry, I didn't own poetry, and I didn't like poetry when I started this journey. So, Jan, it's all you now. Follow that, but I know you're following it up with something very beautiful for us.
Well, you see how amazing those poems are, though? I mean, what you, Mona and Jeanette, have shared is just amazing. That's soul speaking. That's their soul. They're just, you're sharing your humanity with us in such a real way that we can connect and understand and get a new perspective maybe, or whatever. So even though maybe to some people who might be listening, some of that sounded a little harsh, it was all said with the best intentions and the thought and the belief that there was more to your soul and spirit than just the knowledge that you had. You had lots of knowledge, and you, like you said, you had a good heart, all of you. But you just needed to rediscover it, reconnect with it. And you did that. So both the poems that have been read to me help us process, life events and what's happening and make some sense of the world and whatever. But the poem I'm going to share really is a micro practice that I use. Sometimes I don't know if this happens to you, but I get stuck in a negative experience. I play it in my mind. I think, I should have done that, or why didn't I do this, or whatever. What's the lesson? But I keep learning the lesson, but I haven't learned it yet. So sometimes I just need to stop thoughts. And a few years ago, I was going through a particularly difficult, challenging time. And so before I got up in the morning, I would try to think of either something I was grateful for or a happy memory. And when you do it enough, you get past all the superficial stuff. I'm happy that I have a home and food. And yes, that's all important, but there's more. There's those hidden, beautiful memories that bring us such peace and love and joy, that they help us to shift our perspective a little bit. So this was a happy memory I had actually forgotten about, and I've had a few of those, and they're just so precious to me that I just absolutely love them. And they remind us of the importance of sharing this with not just ourselves, but with others, as you're doing, Paulina. This is such a great format. And look at you now. You didn't even own a poetry book, and look at you now.
I know.
I love it. So this is a poem. So I remember this happy memory, and then I write a poem, and then I write several poems about it. But this is the one Paulina likes, so this is the one I'll read. So this was an experience I had in nature. That is where I feel most connected to beauty, silence, oneness, stillness, peace. So this is my experience. Looking up at the tall pines surrounding me, I feel small, yet safe. I am protected by nature, loved by nature, free to just be. Lying on the snow, feeling softness like a cloud, I am supported. Grateful for the sacred space, listening to the gentle breeze, seeing each snowflake crystal, connecting with each sunbeam in this glen that is just my size. I could stay here forever. So that's my poem. That's my journey.
And that's a way of letting go. That's another way of just being free.
Yes, just being free, not having to go do anything, complete an assignment, do whatever, you can just be free for a moment and connect with what's real and beautiful. So that's,
Absolutely.
go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's it.
That's it? That's it. Well, that was a lot. That was a lot because it shows us that we do have. Why are some of the reasons we don't let go? Fear may be the number one. We don't know what's going to happen if we let go. Control is another thing. My brother, my late brother, bless his heart, he would say to me, Paulina, you have control issues. And it's true. I do, because I wanted everything to go perfectly and smoothly. And the reality is life doesn't work that way. And so this has been an absolutely tremendous time with you to share your innermost thoughts. And really, as Jan has said, you spoke from your heart about really sacred experiences and personal experiences in your life. And we are just so grateful. And we have Charlene here, who's also a member of the Caritas Coach family. And her gift has been to help us affirm some things, some wonderful positive things in our lives. And so Charlene is going to lead us through a series of 5 affirmations. And so she's going to say it. And I think because we're all here, we can just say it after her as a way of really giving it power, giving these affirmations power, because when you say it out loud, we know words have energy. And so we just have them come alive. And so viewers, if you're in a place where you can repeat the affirmations out loud, that's wonderful. If not, just mentally say them. You'll still get a wonderful effect. So Charlene, would you like to lead us in your affirmation?
Yes, I sure would. But let me just say before I start, I'm taking 6 of them or 5 of them from an aesthetic expression that I wrote some time ago. It's called I Am the Healing Environment. So it's about declaring who you are every day, because some days you may not feel like it, but you are declaring it. You are affirming that this is what I'm going to show up as. So let's go with number one. When I smile, I invite.
When I smile, I
I
invite.
invite.
As I love, I heal.
As
As
I
I
love,
love,
I
I
heal.
heal.
When I believe, miracles happen.
When
When
I
I
believe,
believe,
miracles.
miracles happen.
When I trust, I receive.
When
When
I
I
trust,
trust,
I
I
receive.
receive.
As I embrace, my heart opens.
As I
As I
embrace,
embrace,
my heart.
my heart opens.
And the last one, as I am awakened, I am transformed.
As I
As I am
awake,
awakened,
I am
I am
transformed.
transformed.
Absolutely beautiful. And so these are affirmations that we can say every morning. So rewind the recording and capture them, and use them to affirm what is wonderful and marvelous in you. And I think I'll drop them in the chat as well. I'm also going to drop in the chat information about Mona's books and Jan and Jeanette's books and um, Charlene's podcast, because they are all sources of healing, of health promoting, of inspiration. So all I can say is, my sisters, my Caritas sisters, this has been personally enriching for me. And I have all the belief that anyone who's in the sound of this recording will be nurtured and nourished as well. And I just thank you for your time today. I really do.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Dr.
Beautiful.
Paulina.
Lots of gratitude. Thank you.
Yes.
You're
Can I just say
welcome.
one thing, Dr. Paulina?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I started my journey. I had been writing them all along. And then when I went in July to the Caritas Communitas, and Dr. Paulina stood up there and read from her Regala healing, I was floored. I was like totally floored. And she actually put them in a book, and I like totally chased her down. And I found out, but then she inspired me. And so I began to start compiling them and put it into a book that will be out soon.
Very cool.
Oh my goodness, this is absolutely wonderful. So, this is the book. I usually show it at the end, but it's available in libraries now, in Oakland, Chicago, San Francisco. So, two in Oakland. So, if you are not able to buy the book, you can check them out of the library, or see them in the library. Except that DePaul, what's very interesting? DePaul put it in a special collection. So you have to wear gloves in order
How
to,
fun.
to read it. So yeah, it's all good. But anyway, I would love to just be with my sisters forever. So I'm going to bring this episode to a close. So I'm going to say just thank you, and continue your work of healing and promoting love and caring. And Jan, we will be forever grateful for you for telling us the truth.
Yes.
Let go of whatever was holding us back from entering and using our heart. So,
That's
And
so
you
true.
guys are beautiful. I love you so much.
well,
Yes,
we,
thank
we
you.
we
love
love you. We love you. So, bye, Mona. I'm
Bye.
gonna let
Bye.
me.
Thank you.
I'm
Bye.
trying to get. Okay, bye,
Thank
Mona.
you.
Bye, Jeanette. Bye, Jan. And farewell, Charlene. Okay, so I just hope that you have enjoyed this time. It was really kind of a girl discussion just about letting go. And I wanted to let you know that I always try to leave you with some strategies. We talk about things, but it's important for you to say, well, this is fine. This is what it is. But what do I do about it? How can I enhance the way I live each day of my life? So let me give you just 3 tips about how you might consider letting go. And they're not in any priority order, but I thought I'd share them with you. So the first is accept the truth. So work on giving up the belief that you can make reality different than what it is. And I'm sharing this because this is something I practice and I've been able. It's hard, but I've been able to work through it. The next is focus on what you can control. And what you can control are your emotions and how you use your time. Those are 2 things you can control. You can't control what anyone else feels or does, but you can. So again, focusing on self. And lastly, I'm going to share is live in the moment. This very moment is the only thing we really, have a little control over. And so one of the practices that I have promoted when I've been with you is to take 5 minutes every day, quiet time, at least just 5 minutes. And you may have to do it in your car before you get out to go to work, or in your car before you come in, or if you're taking public transportation, you might just have to stop and somewhere and just take those 5 minutes, and you might just breathe. You might listen to some calming music, or you might just want to sit with yourself and see what comes up. See what ask your heart, what do I need today? What do I need to hear today? And if you're quiet and if you listen to that soft voice, I promise you that you will get a message. And so again, thank you for being with us today. I'm here the first and third Sunday of every month. And until then, I wish you love and light until I see you again. And I'll just show you, I'll add this